After 8 months away from the court, recovering from injury, battling the flu, and coming off the bench in 4 of 5 games, Caitlin Clark still became the youngest MVP in FIBA qualifying tournament history. That's more than a comeback story, it's proof of what happens when a player of her caliber finds a way to impact games regardless of the circumstances. Today we're breaking down how she pulled it off, from the Spain matchup to the tournament-defining numbers that made her stand out, and why her performance has Indiana Fever and Team USA fans excited about what could be coming in 2026. The championship matchup against Spain began much tighter than many expected.
MVP of the tournament is none other than Miss Caitlin Clark. It's undeniable the impact she's made on women's basketball, and here in Puerto Rico had quite the showing. Her debut with the senior team, the double-double with both points and assists. And in her senior debut, she wins TISO MVP.
Spain arrived with a clear game plan, and early on it was working as their young roster pushed the pace, attacked the paint, and made Team USA uncomfortable on both ends of the floor. Spain's rising stars were making a real impact. Awa Pham looked every bit like a future top WNBA draft prospect, while Liana Martin controlled the game with her playmaking and defense.
All over, you might as well count it in.
Gustafson spots up for a three, and Gustafson gets half an inch of space. The three-pointers looked good all tournament long. Hamby connects again up top, just off the back rim. Spain comes down with it. Cazorla over to Gustafson. Gustafson off the glasses.
Contest remained back and forth throughout the opening quarter, and by the start of the second period the score was tied against a Team USA squad that had dominated the tournament. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was still on the bench, and that decision sparked plenty of discussion among fans. Clark came off the bench in 4 of Team USA's 5 games, and as Spain continued to hang around while the offense struggled to find rhythm, many were asking the same question. Why was the team's best playmaker not on the floor?
Starting lineup today for Team USA, and it's no surprise to either of us here that it's a different starting lineup. Every single one of these games has a different starting lineup. And
Spain mixed zone looks with a soft box N1 defense, and Team USA struggled to generate clean offense. Ball movement stalled, the pace slowed down, and the game lacked flow until Clark entered. The moment Clark checked into the game, everything changed. What had been a stagnant offense suddenly became dynamic and aggressive. She turned defensive pressure into transition opportunities, anticipated rotations before they happened, delivered timely kick-out passes, and stretched the defense with deep shooting range. By forcing defenders to guard her far beyond the three-point line, she opened the floor and created opportunities that Team USA had been missing. People around the team
Doing the right thing. She knows it's going to be tough to get to the basket with too many bumps with the bigs.
Pointed to Clark's energy as the spark that ignited the offense, and the results backed it up. Nearly every significant scoring run Team USA produced came with her on the floor. Although the final score showed an 84-70 victory, it doesn't fully reflect how competitive the game was before Clark helped shift momentum. Spain brought legitimate talent and played well, which only made Clark's impact more impressive. One of the most...
Ryan Howard on the wing, up to Caitlin Clark. Clark from deep! What a shot from Caitlin! Man down, Caitlin Clark.
Telling details from the tournament was Clark's workload. Despite frequently coming off the bench, she still logged more minutes than anyone else on Team USA, showing just how essential she became whenever she stepped onto the court. Think about that for a moment. A player who didn't start most of the games still finished the tournament leading the team in minutes played. She also topped the roster in assists, plus-minus, and efficiency. That's not the profile of someone simply enjoying a hot streak, it's the profile of a player driving winning basketball. The numbers paint an even clearer picture. Clark averaged 11.6
What's your favorite part of playing for Team USA?
Favorite part? I would put it on the order.
points and 6.4 assists per game, totaling 32 assists across 5 contests. She led Team USA in 2-point shooting percentage, free throws made, and free throw attempts while also playing more minutes than anyone on the roster. The contrast is
Spain, one of the best young prospects there is around the world. Kelsey Plum wide open for 3, cannot leave her.
striking. The player often starting on the bench was simultaneously the player carrying the biggest workload once the game began. Her selection to the All-Star 5 further validated the numbers. Evaluators responsible for analyzing international basketball reached the same conclusion the statistics suggested: Clark was the most influential player in the tournament.
Clark trying to get open now, passes it over to Beckers. Beckers uses the re-screen, falls, finds Clark, who gets the extra pass in the corner to Copper, and Copper.
That recognition carries weight because it reflects performance, not popularity, and it hints at an even brighter future ahead. What's especially exciting is that Clark is still developing. For Indiana Fever fans, this tournament wasn't just reassuring from a health standpoint, it was another reminder that her game continues to evolve. Looking ahead, the significance of Puerto Rico extends far beyond this event alone. Clark refined her playmaking, pace control, outlet passing, and pick-and-roll decision-making within Nate Tibbetts' system, and those improvements will carry over to the Fever. The style team.
Here's Young, looking to take advantage of a wide-open Howard. Can't this time, and Gustafson with the rebound, but she saves it inbounds to Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark is there.
USA used offered a glimpse of what a fully empowered Clark-led offense could resemble over an entire season. It also connected the upcoming World Cup in Berlin with the next phase of her professional development. After missing 8 months, she returned and immediately led the tournament in impact metrics, an achievement few players could replicate. Another major takeaway was the partnership developing between Clark and Paige Bueckers. Their chemistry quickly became one of Team USA's greatest strengths. The shift in coaching philosophy emphasized Clark's strengths more directly, moving away from conservative rotations and allowing her greater control of the offense. The difference in tempo and effectiveness became increasingly visible as the tournament progressed.
Her and Paige buckets.
Copper.
Under Tibbetts, Team USA leaned into a faster, guard-oriented style with Clark initiating action instead of waiting off the ball. The results appeared immediately. Against Italy, she repeatedly dissected defenses through pick-and-roll play, quick reads, and transition opportunities. Her ability to process the game at high speed left opponents struggling to keep up. The New Zealand game offered perhaps the clearest glimpse of what this approach could become. Clark earned her
Glass, a nice finish to take the lead. Caitlin Clark tries to come the other way. The late whistle will put Clark to the line for 2 points.
And the
first start of the tournament, played a team-high 23 minutes, and shared the floor with Paige Bueckers and Kelsey Plum. The combination overwhelmed New Zealand because Clark and Bueckers could both create and score, forcing defenders into impossible choices on nearly every possession. The contrast in playing styles is also worth noting. Discussion.
Clark in transition. Clark turns the corner, and it's going to be a foul called on number 5 for Team Spain. Maite Cazorla, her first personal foul of the game.
Questions surrounding pace and offensive structure have followed Clark throughout her career, and this tournament provided another example of how dramatically those choices can influence overall team performance. Perhaps the most important development from Puerto Rico was the connection between Clark and Bueckers. Despite limited experience playing together, they developed chemistry remarkably quickly. By the Spain game, they were anticipating each other's movements instinctively. Clark pushed the pace knowing where Bueckers would be, while Bueckers trusted passes that seemed to arrive before she was even open. That level of understanding. Usually takes months to build, yet they established it in only 5 games. Their 2-player game became one of the tournament's toughest challenges for opposing defenses. Both players can score, pass, and make rapid decisions. When defenses focused on Clark, Bueckers found open looks. When defenses shifted toward Bueckers, Clark punished rotations with precise passing. The combination created constant pressure and left opponents searching for answers that rarely existed.
she's the best. She's not just a legend, but a great, great person.
The All-Star 5 selection that came alongside the MVP isn't just a bonus. It means the people whose entire job is to evaluate international basketball on a technical level looked at this tournament and landed in the same place the numbers did. Clark was the most impactful player on the floor across all 5 games. That's not a popularity vote. That's a basketball judgment.
The situation involving Angel Reese also became part of the tournament story. Reese thrives in physical half-court settings where she can establish position and attack near the basket. As Team USA shifted toward a faster, guard-focused system, there were moments early on when her role appeared less defined and the offensive balance was still being worked out. Eventually, the transition-heavy style created a valuable role for Reese. As one of basketball's premier rebounders, she became a key initiator of fast breaks by securing rebounds, finding Clark quickly, and sprinting the floor. By the later stages of the tournament, that adjustment had helped create a more natural fit within the system. In the end, the tactical changes benefited everyone involved. Clark was able to maximize her strengths, Reese found an effective role within the faster attack, and the partnership between Clark and Buchers continued to flourish. Together they built meaningful chemistry in just 1 week, giving opponents something significant to worry about ahead of Berlin. After an 8-month absence, Clark returned to lead the tournament in plus-minus and efficiency, captured MVP honors, and reminded everyone what happens when she is allowed to fully orchestrate an offense. For both Team USA and the Indiana Fever, Puerto Rico may have been only a preview of what's still to come.
Successful tournament for Team USA as they go home with 5 wins under their belts.
Overall, very, very pleased with the tournament, our group. We got a great group of women that are proud to wear a USA jersey, which is awesome. And it was a lot of fun for me coming down here. I thought I was going to be on vacation as an assistant, and you know, Kara had to get back to more important stuff. And so, yeah, I appreciate the players and the coaching staff that helped me along the way.
And you still got the 10-week vacation.
Yes.
You're doing for the coach, how will you evaluate the team's overall performance with the biggest positive, and from your perspective, the areas does the team still need to improve moving forward?
Yeah, I think KP hit on it. Just, you know, this is a new group with a new staff. I was pleased with our ball movement. I thought we did a really good job of making the extra pass. We got some wide open threes. Obviously, we're super talented, but I loved how unselfish we were.
That's up the three. Spain wanted the call. The page is leaking. Her against Dioso, and that one is good for Team USA. As Spain calls the timeout. Matt goes to no call on that one, and you think Coach Miguel Mendez will have a talk with the referees.
Angel